Hello everyone and welcome back to Age of Nagash, channel dedicated to Age of Sigmar, which means that I dedicate more to Age of Sigmar than Games Workshop does. Going by the latest news from the FAQ that we've been waiting for in the Winter's FAQ. Currently recording this, I don't know if I'm going to upload it because it may just be more of a rant and may just be really not a positive vibe that I want to put on my channel, but I thought I would record it just for a hell of a laugh. And joining me, we've got Alex, who was in the Living City video and is going to be in an Iron Jaws video coming up. How are you doing today?
I was doing well until the FAQ dropped, to be honest.
So I just came off 2+ Tufts channel playing some Vermintide with him. Someone mentioned something about the FAQ in the chat, and I was like, I'm pumped. As soon as this video is done with him, I might get on and make one for the channel, which, like, here in Versity I am. I hope to do on a positive note, because basically, if you're wondering, you haven't really seen the FAQ yet. It's that, and this is very early thoughts. You may like review it over the next week. Actually, this thing has changed. That's made a big difference here, right? But as an overall, from what I can see so far, it's made absolutely no difference. I mean, like no meaningful difference, right? And you're agreeing with me on this at this point, aren't you, Alex?
So there are a couple of things which have changed, which might make a difference.
Okay.
But like very, very little. Certainly in terms of points changes, there's obviously nothing, which is the big thing. In terms of changes, so probably the big one is that you can take the Marathi battalions in temples other than Xanthar, which makes the whole Marathi Calibron list legal and really strong.
Okay, that's cool. So is that... remind me, sorry, I'm just not...
Yeah, so basically the battalions in the Marathi book, there was an argument over whether you could take them in any temple other than Xanthar, and they've FAQ'd it that you can. So basically there's the whole Calibron, teleport 20 Bloodstalkers, do some teleporting stuff with Marathi and kill everything, and you can now do that with battalions.
I will say... Like, you may correct me on this, but at least it's not loads of witch shells running around. Like, at least I'll be killed.
Oh, it's something different.
Yeah, I'll be killed by something else. You know, it's the same with the Deacon change. Yeah. So that's okay. I'm on board with that. Like, for now, until I fight it, essentially. Yeah. So looking at that, I'm just having a quick look, and obviously this is very... I haven't read everything. I've just scanned through a few things. So I can see there's a Stormkeep battle strike change. Has this made, in any way, the Stormcast Eternal stop in, like, all those Liberators? Striking.
Yeah,
it has.
So
okay, that's cool.
I haven't read it properly, that one, because it doesn't interest me. But I know that was for sure you now can't take a city's hero as your general, because there was a thing that you could put like Staunch Defender onto a city's general and then take a standard Stormkeep. So that's been stopped, which is cool. I think that's the only thing they've changed.
That's cool. Something I want to mention for the you know, the idolaters. Yeah. Do you remember them?
Yep.
The thing they spent as much time as this FAQ on. So those guys, the chariot you get to turn into an idolated lord actually gets into the Eye of the Gods keyword.
Yeah. Well, also you can now cultists can take marks.
Yeah, which is cool. Like that is nice.
Yeah, that's good.
That has made an interesting conversation, and I actually want to might re-review it because that could be quite interesting. I don't know if it's not going to be the most competitive thing. I'm just going to say that now, but it's interesting. Cool. So there's like some little tweaks. I think one of the main things for me is that it's not as simple as just looking at some text and looking at numbers and see what's gone up and down, which I always look forward to doing. Which is sad. But okay, so that's just some Broken Realms Marathi stuff, right? Because I knew that was part of it. The General's Handbook errata, which is usually really big, has just got, what have we got? 5 point changes. Which, to be honest, is just saying Hex Race, 130 points in Legions of Nagash, because they basically lowered them for Nighthaunt, but not Legions of Nagash. Not for any specific reason, but just because they forgot to copy and paste it. And it's the same for Morgasts Archive and Famed Morgasts Harbingers for Oshkosh Bone Reapers. They've made it cheaper for Legions of Nagash as well, which I think they fixed in the original FAQ for that General's Handbook, so I don't know why they've re-repeated it. And then order pitch battle. I can read all this out because this literally takes a second because there's so little. Order pitch battle profiles. Allies change yourself and allies to Stormcast Sylvaneth. So Serif Font can ally with Stormcast and Sylvaneth.
I'm not sure it was before.
Yeah, I think it was just Stormcast before.
Okay.
I mean, Anna and Sylvaneth with them is going to make them win the game, right? I mean, like they're really struggling, aren't they? 5 tree reverends. Like, imagine that's like the only thing they might ally. Maybe.
Yeah, you know, they struggle for teleporting in that army, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. So there we go. And the Monstrous Arcanum Saurian change the point value to 520 for the Dread Saurian. Is that up or down? I'll tell you what. Do you know what I'll do? I'll go and quickly check on the app because they've guaranteed to not have updated that yet, obviously. So let's have a look. Like guys, I am sorry if you think I am being salty in this video and everything else because I'm not usually like that, but I'm just disappointed.
I think the big issue is that they are claiming that they have been able to do points changes due to a lack of data, which, if that's the case, I get that. However, they were able to do points changes for 40k just a couple of weeks ago. The FAQ is like over a month late compared to normal when they've done nothing, and they've had a whole series of articles on MetaWatch quoting tournament data. So, like, when you combine all of those, like, it just feels like an excuse for them not doing their job.
Yeah, exactly. And just to say, the Dread Saurian, everyone was interested, on the app is 510, which either means they have updated it or this is just old news repeated. Yeah, I understand. Like, they haven't had a lot of data, but saying as we were talked to a little bit before I start recording, so I don't know if I've already said this. I apologise, but. When they've started this thing called Age of Sigmar Meta Watch, where my personal opinion of it is that they saw the Honest Wargaming was doing and not ripped him off, but just thought, how can they take his idea? So, yeah, I feel for the Honest Wargamer because, you know, he was I don't know if he was the first one doing it, but he was the one who seems to be the most successful of doing this meta watching. And then Games Workshop were like, okay, we're going to do our own meta watching stuff. So, you know, everyone read our MetaWatch articles because I think there's only been a couple, but it's like because there's so much happening in Age of Sigmar right now and the meta is always changing. Well, if you're saying that the meta is always changing because there's lots going on, then you go to say that there's not enough going on for us to make point changes. You can't really have it both ways. It's my personal opinion on that.
Yeah, and they're just completely ignoring. I know they don't endorse TTS, Tabletop Simulator, but like. I know for a fact that there are tournament organisers who have been contacted by Games Workshop for their data. So, like, Games Workshop has access to it, and they're just choosing to ignore it.
Yeah. And I said they did it for 40k, right? Like.
Yeah, like, I mean, as I said, if they were consistent and across everything, they said we're not going to do any points changes. It can wait until the summer. Like, we're in the middle of a pandemic.
I completely agree.
I get it. But, like, it's one rule, yeah, for 40k and another rule for AOS. And that just feels, yeah, pretty rubbish.
So, like, and the other thing I think as well is, as a YouTube content creator, I would have smashed out list building videos between, like, for the last 2 months. And if I knew they weren't going to make any points changes, I would have got a load more out there, which is, like, something it was a series I started, made 3 episodes, and I had to stop for a while, and I was like, fair enough, like, you know, we'll wait for the winter FAQ, and then they said, like, oh, we are going to do one at really late notice. And it's like, oh, okay, then, well, good thing I waited then. And then it's like, but here we are, no point change. Bar a couple of things, right, maybe. Just say for the Nighthaunt one. This is something I do like, though. The Nighthaunt, the Briar Queen, who's actually quite useful from Age of Sigmar Underworlds, has actually came into... obviously, you can use it in the Nighthaunt Allegiance, and it wasn't actually given like the wizard keyword, I'm pretty sure. So now it's the wizard, so it can take from the spell lore and everything, because it's got a useful spell. So that's a useful thing. But I got excited when there was like, oh, a Nighthaunt errata. Have they changed it up? It's just one thing. What they did like 2 years late or whenever. Lumineth Realm Lords. I'm just going to quickly pop through these things, as long as it's not too much writing. There's really not a lot of writing.
No, the Luminous one's not much. The KO one is changing just the wording on one of the artifacts, which it didn't say specifically, like subtract 1 from hit rolls until the end of that phase, and people were claiming it was for like the whole game. Oh,
right. Okay.
So they've just rewritten that.
Sounds like some needed.
Marathi can't go on a Balewind Vortex, which amuses me.
Good. Little Marathi?
Yeah, little Marathi.
Then you could make a swap with Big Marathi, right? Or is Big Marathi even a wizard?
Big Marathi's not a wizard.
Okay, so there's no benefit.
But yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
Marathi probably needs the nerf. She's pretty good right now.
Yeah. That's expected stuff.
But yeah, Croak can still go on a Balewind, so that's all good.
Yeah, okay, the Lord Croak problem. I've never really played against him much, and then suddenly I played against him like 3 or 4 times, like in a week or two. And I don't like him, I'll be honest. I don't like how he is currently in the game. Because it just... I play, I believe it's referred to as fat middle armies, as I think that's the funnest way to play. And then if you play against an army like the Starborn... Croak build, what's the sub-allegiance called?
Fangs of Sotek.
Fangs of Sotek. You're playing your army, and you're playing another army from a different game. Which means you're not playing the same game. I don't know how you feel about that, and this isn't going to be a rant about Lord Croak for the next hour, but it needed to rebalance, and it did. Yeah,
I've put some thought into it today, how I feel about Serif Font, and like the book is really good. Like the rules, it's all really interesting. It's just too finely tuned. Like if you can fix Croak's board-wide spell, if you can fix the Skinks running away on a 4-up, if you can fix the teleporting regardless, and you maybe slightly nerf summoning, I think Serif Font becomes like a lot more fun to play against. But I don't think any amounts of points changes will actually, short of like literally nerfing them into the ground, I don't think.
Well, I'm going to say, yeah,
this is going to change Serif Font.
I agree with those. I agree with the points you made there. But what I will say is, when I played against Lord Croak for like the first proper time in Starborn a few weeks ago, the guy I was playing, fantastic person, nothing against them or anything, but the army itself, by my end of turn 2, so the first half of battle round 2, I had wiped out most of his army, and I was like 10 or 11 victory points up, and there was still nothing I could do but lose that game. Which is just like...
Yeah, it's like...
I did the best.
You often feel like the chaos summoning, or like... I was going to say, you feel like the chaos with like the death summoning, it's kind of bringing the armies up point where they're competitive. Whereas like Serif Font without the summoning is so strong, and then you just chuck some summoning in for the hell of it.
Yeah, it was like a bit when like a Croak on a vortex just teleports on the vortex. It's like, yeah, sure. To be fair, Malign Sorcery's got an update, so that might have changed. So just looking at Cowden Overlords, I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest expert on Cowden Overlords, but just seeing, because I imagine they may have had like some fly high and stuff, things changed.
Yeah, there's some wording, but I don't understand. Like KO is too complicated for my little brain.
Exactly. So what I'll say on that note, there's actually a good YouTube channel out there called I think it's Ethercast, and they just focus on Cowden Overlord. So a little bit of a shout out to them. If you're interested in how these FAQ changes affect you, and you play a Cowden Overlords, definitely check them out if you haven't already, because they will by sure do a video on this, because they did a video speculating on what could change. Yeah, so I'm not really going to talk about that too much, because I don't really know. I haven't really played against them much, so that's fine. Maybe some interesting changes there. Going on to Malign Sorcery, is it okay? This is
that's just Marathi.
Oh, that's just Marathi.
Yeah, that's just her not being allowed on the Balewind.
Okay. Anything about the Balewind's not allowed to actually teleport?
Nope.
Okay. Yep. Glad Marathi was the one they chose to get nerfed. And then core rules design. Okay, this is a bit of a longer one. I'm not going to read that. Like, sorry for anyone watching this. I'm not reading this. Maybe this will prove the point that I've just made, that actually there has been some sniffing changes, and if so, you can let me know about it in the comments. But
no, there's like 4 points in it, and they're all pretty minor, just like niche things that might affect you, but not really.
Oh, I forgot, like, one of them, just reading, right? In a pitched battle, you receive 1 extra command point for each for every 50 points I don't spend on units, which is weird because you can only get one maximum. They fixed that, so it's weird how they mentioned that. But anyway, I don't spend on units. Do points spent on Warsaw battalions, endless spells, and terrain features count as points spent on units for purposes of this rule? Yes, you can't take a battalion and go, I'm actually 180 points down. You know, that's, I don't know who asked that question. Like, I'm sorry. That, you know, should be quite clear. But going on to base sizes, I presume this is just new models that have entered the game, and they've just added them to the base size chart.
Oh, does that mean we have Lumineth on there now? I needed that the other day.
Oh, yeah. Mork's Mighty Mushroom has changed, apparently.
Oh, yeah, the best of the endless spells.
Yeah. But
they... Oh, no, they still don't have Lumineth on their base sizes. Because, you know, they've only been out for, what, 6-7 months now?
Yeah. Well, you know why, don't you? Because they were like... No, please tell me. So, because... They're like, oh, well, we can't tell you the units that are coming out because we want to keep them secret. So it'll be wrong for us to give you half the rules of an army in a book, right? And let's make it outdated. I'll tell you what, the Mork's Mighty Mushroom, that actually has changed size. I feel sorry for people who already based the thing.
Yeah.
Then you're going to buy a new base. And 60mm, so you probably haven't got too many of those things lying around. So that's cool. Great fun. And then Serif Font, I mean... Do we talk about this? Because there is like, they put the points on here, even though
there's no changes. Yeah, it's just the change to the bound endless spell, which again I don't fully understand.
But there's no stars next to them.
Like, no, they haven't changed.
Okay, sure. Special bind endless change it. I mean. Have you already like got the hack of what this is, and there hasn't actually been any significant changes?
With the Serif, with the Serif Font one, it's just the pink that's changed. Anything else in black hasn't changed.
Well, it says change the rule, isn't it? In the black.
Pink is just like the new revisions compared to the previous version. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but the black ones, it says change the rule too.
So that would be from the old errata.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
Absolutely.
So that would be from the summer errata.
Oh,
it's the pink. Okay. It's just the pink stuff that's for the new errata.
Okay, they've just made it look bigger than it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Sentence of the errata. One of those got within 8 inches of the caster that is not soul linked and is visible to them. And what is? Do you know what celestial manipulation does?
That's
the only thing.
No, like I get it's doing something with bound endless spells. Is it that you can only bind one endless spell?
You know what? I'm actually going to go through again the Serif Font battle tome right up now because it looks like it's a spell from the spell law celestial manipulation. We can get this up now. We do things properly here on Agent Nagash, obviously. So let's have a look. I mean, don't look. Serif Font were the Lizardmen were the first army I ever had models for, and I absolutely love them. But I do feel like they needed to change a little bit. Celestial manipulation. Sorry if this is boring for you if you're watching this, but you can go watch another video if you like. So bind in the spell. Bind in the spell. Binding a spell has casting base 7. If successfully cast, pick one endless spell within 18 inches of the caster and is visible to them. Until your next hero phase, that endless spell has the bound keyword. Change the second sentence to, if successfully cast, pick one endless spell within 18 inches of the caster. Oh, so it's just not soul linked or visible to them. Okay. Oh, and is visible to them. So no Bone Reaper stuff.
Yeah, and it has to be visible. Cool.
Does Croak get line of sight from their skinks?
No, that's only for casting that he gets that kind of thing coming from like the Oracle.
So maybe that's useful. Right.
Yeah, maybe. Very situationally, but it doesn't fit.
I mean, that will sort out the Serif Font problem, right?
Because let's be honest, all you do with your bound spells is you put Geminids out, and yeah, there we go.
So like, if I look at the errata, right, it's all in black, so nothing here has changed for like the Serif Font.
Yeah, so if you look at the date on the Serif Font one, I think it's dated back
April
to the summer.
2020, yeah.
Yeah. So nothing's changed on it.
Fleshier Courts, one thing has changed, and that's the Royal Family Battalion.
Which has been a source of, debate for months, so at least that's been settled.
Yeah, that's nice. Everything else stays the same, no point changes, and like, as just like a top 4, like I don't really think much needed to change the Fleshier Courts anyway, like they're fine, kind of.
Nope.
They were fixed after they released, and that's sorted that out. Disciples of Zeech, what we got here? Oh, we got one pink thing. That's the standard. So, Gaunt Summoner Zeech, Book of Profane Summoner. Change the first sentence to Summoner unit of 5 horrors. Was there not already 5 horrors? Like, I thought they fixed that.
Again, the date is July.
But this one's pink.
Because that's July 2020. If you read the date at the top, it's from the summer FAQ, and they just haven't changed it. Nothing has changed.
So why they re-uploaded it and given it a new update? Dated?
Because it just because they can't be bothered to change the date and just turn everything black for January, so they just leave it as is because nothing's changed.
But if nothing's changed, why are they re-uploaded it?
Because the designer's commentary has changed, not the errata.
Oh, right, okay. There's a couple of people. I might as well read it. Can the Chaincaster's Fortune and Fate ability trigger more than once in the same hero phase as cast and roll? Was it not? Yes. Does the change in a dice roll with the Master and Magic ability count as a modifier? Yes. Okay, I'm sure that'll be important in a game somewhere, but not one I'm going to play anytime soon, probably. So, what are your... I don't like doing really negative videos, right? Guys, I completely understand. I can also see my Discord is not happy with this either. That FAQ must be really bad, right? Sorry, I'm just looking. Okay, I'll read that later. So yeah, I don't want to just do like those negative reviews, and I've been coming. To be honest, the last few videos have been all about news, and it's been positive news generally, quite good stuff. And then unfortunately, just the bad side of GW this, where they just show how lazy they can be. Like, I don't really know much more there is to say. Maybe there's stuff here that me and Alex have missed, as we only just looked at it quickly, and this has only just gone up. So maybe there's something here we're missing. But from what we can see so far, no really meaningful changes.
Nope. Like, short of a couple of armies getting a slight buff, a slight nerf. It's not changing anything really. Every army's where it was before.
And this was one that kind of needed a change. Like, we had... I think it's more because we just waited for such a long time.
But if they'd come out at the... normally it's the second, third week of December they drop the FAQ. If they'd come out then with all of this and, they'd done the same with 40k in terms of, not doing massive points changes for them, then everyone, would be quite accepting of it and be like, yeah, fair. It's just, combination of all the different things which has annoyed people. Yeah,
I completely agree on that point, and I think we'll end the video there because I don't want to just salt
rant for the sake of ranting. Yeah,
exactly. Like, I don't like ranting too much unless it's in a jokey way or something. So I think that's it. I think if I just one word, just 2 words: disappointed and underwhelmed. I would say.
Yep.
It's fair enough. I'm not angry, just disappointed that whole thing, but they didn't even give you the right base sizes for the like. I'm not saying that was like everyone's needing that right now, but just little things, right? And half of these are meaningless because there's only a little bit of designer commentary that's changed.
Exactly.
Yeah, cool. Well, I'm happy to end it there, guys. If you are annoyed at this or something, obviously, keep it clean and stuff in the comments. I don't really like that too much. But obviously, if you're disappointed or annoyed, you leave a comment down below. If you're obviously think there's something great and something that we've missed, let us know in the comments. I will, for one, be happy to hear about something I've missed here. And also, if you want to get in a discussion about all this, join the Discord, because if you hear it Bing a few times, that's because that is going off a little bit of people not being very happy of this. But at the end of the video, though, I do just want to quickly get them up. This was a very shall we do a video sort of video, so not really prepared. But I'll quickly get out my patrons as always to give them a shout out as well. Of course, which we just go through all my screenshots from when I screenshotted this. So just to say to my patrons who, because of them, I can continue doing this channel and making videos to help people get into Age of Sigmar and with their Age of Sigmar journey. So to my Morgasts, which is going to be Sandback, Johnathan H, Filq and Bleed Red. My Vampires, which is Mir, Martin S, Rouse321 and David A. My Necromancers, which is Jacq.l, RadiationRiley, AW77, Dice Sagas, WolfNick, Michal W, Quad and the Cranky Wombat. So guys, thank you so much for your continued support. Really couldn't do it without you. It means the world to me. If you would like to support me on Patreon, you'll find a link to my Patreon down in the description down below. And if you click on it, and even if you just give $1 a month, guys, it really helps to keep me going. If you can't do that, though, completely understand. But if you just smash that like button, if you did enjoy this video, bit of a weird subject to enjoy, but if you want to click the like button, feel free, smash it. And if you haven't already, press the subscribe button, as I will be covering more news and on more better subjects than this, don't you worry. And have you already subscribed? Make sure you click that bell notification. But until next time, guys, yeah, it's just that. This is something we long awaited. I'm sure there's going to be... Sure, the Honest Wargamer, as an example, will be keen to do a long video on this, probably. I would imagine. But so you go check out that and other people as well. But like I say, until next time, guys, hope you have a good rest of your week. And of course, remember until next time that stay safe, wear a mask, wash your hands, stay hygienic, so we can all start gaming again soon with our unchanged FAQ rules. And also remember, more importantly, until next time, that Nagash is all, and all is one in Nagash.